as well. So positive start.
A try and a yellow card last week in victory against the Eagles, which was only their second since round 4. You look at the calibre of player that they have in their ranks, coached by Steve Hansen, the great All Black coach, and you wonder how on earth are they down in 10th position, but they are. And, well, question marks over Josh Dixon going again, having initially been held and released, but he gets his punishment, penalty against the Verblitz, and the Wild Knights with a chance to clear the decks.
Yeah, that's a strange one there, isn't it? You hear the referee saying, tackle me, but he's not actually on the ground. So when they leave him go, he just goes again. A little bit strange, but again, I mentioned Ben Gunter before the match, the open side for the Wild Knights. He's had a great season. He is a tackle machine and he's a turnover machine as well. And any loose ball, that man will be there.
Well, speaking of loose balls, Michael Hooper latches onto one, and big Joseph Marnie, who's been a revelation since crossing codes from rugby league and the Roosters, just demonstrates how tough he is to tackle. Fafita, who was a towering presence in last week's victory against the Verblitz. But this wants to compete. Marnie's after it. Has Corriabetti as traffic. Noguchi is there, and the Wild Knights have been stripped. Well, good spoiling tactics, and a little bit loose from the Wild Knights so far.
It's definitely a nervy start from the Wild Knights, isn't it? And this is a great matchup as well. Certainly is. You've got the likes of Dale Ende, and Fifita's a big, strong man. He starts going forward, and Dale Ende just grabs him on the midriff and just takes him backwards and across field. Yeah, also that Joseph Manu, I've seen him a couple of times come off the bench and really make a difference. And obviously he's starting today. They want to get him involved, coming off the 10s and 9s, sharp around the corner. He's a strong ball carrier. Will he be better? Of the two coaches at the moment, I think the Mr. Steve Hansen will be the happiest.
Koyama gets the ball away. Also at first receiver, Marika. Corriabetti has Noguchi for company. One along. Koki Takayama in for the opening score. A sizzling strike play from the scrum. And the Wild Knights too good for the Verblitz in the right-hand corner.
Yeah, it was a lovely play, wasn't it? Scrum nice and steady. Corriabetti just biding his time. We call that the eyeball, the inside ball. Just holds his line, doesn't get too flat. Lovely pass. Noguchi just being really unselfish. It's a cracking little goose step as well by Takayama. Just takes him away from the defence, and it's a lovely finish. You know, you talk, these are the teams that are always on top of the league, where they perhaps don't start as positive as you think, and you think, right, okay, the other team's got a chance here to do something, then bang, out of nowhere, points on the board. That's why they're so consistent.
Well, it is going upstairs, and, well, what do you reckon, Shane, forward or not?
I think if this is given as forward, it'll be very harsh. If anything, it looks flat to me. You look at the line there where the feet are before the inside ball is made, and where Corriabetti takes the ball, both behind the line. So this will be real harsh. Look at the line coming up there. Both take it. That's okay, isn't it, surely? I think if this just doesn't get given, it's going to be really harsh. You talk about the depth, don't we? The depth of Corriabetti. He's got to be flat as he can, because he's got to be involved in that line. He's got to be in the eyesight, but at the same time, he's gone back.
Wow. We're going to be denied a great try, aren't we?
Yeah, I find that really harsh. I think you've got to give the benefit to the attacker there.
Look at the frame on Ben Gunter. He is a wrecking ball, isn't he?
He is. He's one of those players as well. If he didn't have a number on his back, you'd be like, I don't know if this guy's a back rower, a centre, a winger, or an open side or a blind side for that matter. You know, he's just an athlete, isn't he? Real athlete.
And he's getting through a bit of conversation there with Michael Hooper.
Oh yeah. Open sides love the banter.
Well, denied a try, but not denied the free kick. First scrum clinch goes the way of the Wild Knights. And Koyama just feeds the big man. Big competition in the sky, but ultimately won by Verblitz. Big press as well from the Wild Knights. Joseph Marnie's out there in the centre. Tell you what, Dixon's getting a bit of treatment so far in this match. Another huge shit, Shota Fukui. There's no Lachlan Bashir, so Fukui is now the main man, though he and Man Gunter switching jerseys today. Itsuki Onishi, the other part of that back row trio. Hands fast, little room to work with. Fukui side down. Hangana, oh, it's such a beautiful sleight of hand, and off goes Saito. Loose ball jumbling around, and the Verblitz have it. Wonderful break, just the presentation off key for the Wild Knights. And well, if you're looking for set piece, this isn't the right league. Ball still in play. Noguchi claiming his own kick. And eventually Wild Knights get the penalty.
Yeah, I think there was a couple of forwards looking to the likes of Saito and Kimura just to kick the ball off the field, give us a break, end-to-end stuff. But already I've been really impressed with the line speed and defence from the Wild Knights. It's up in your face, the wingers come and they try and spook the opposition into not going wide, because they come up nice and aggressive on the outside, they'll show their face, and it normally turns attacking teams back inside because they don't want to risk that interception pass, and really aggressive, and it's working at the moment. The Blitz aren't really getting that ball in the front foot.
Well, they've got problems with the dimensions of the pitch right here. Wonderful maul defence. I think they caught Wild Knights unaware a little there, didn't they?
Yeah. You know, the driving maul is such an attacking weapon now, isn't it? And I think teams spend so much time not only practicing the driving maul, but practicing how to defend it as well. And that time, Verblitz, they just ushered the Wild Knights to the touchline. And when you're defending, that touchline is your friend, and so that's a cracking turnover. If there's ever a time you want your front eight to have a big scrum, it's when you're 5 meters out under pressure. It's a good scrum, real stable.
Solid for Shigeno, and he finds Nicholas McCurran. Joined from the Brave Lupus this summer after 3 seasons and claiming a title in the final last year. And, well, it's a modest clearance, isn't it, from Shinya Kimura, and the pressure still very much being applied by the Wild Knights and that young 10, Saito.
Yeah, he doesn't give himself the best angle there, does he, for the kick?
Slow but deliberate progress from the Wild Knights to Idraki. Paints the picture of a man who had a jackal on, but Wild Knights still press from close range. Taking those inches a little too easily, you'd have to say. And once you get that close and you come up against a man as deadly, that close to the paint as Atsushi Sakate, there's only one outcome. Finally, it is the first try for the Wild Knights.
Yeah, good patience with the driving maul as well, successful, wasn't it? Took a lot of white jerseys out. And as you can see there, it's brilliant when you're that close to the line. Sakate that time just picks the ball, but what he does really well, he stays nice and low. He has a latcher on the back. He's another Wild Knights player that just grabs on to his backside, keeps driving, keeps him nice and low. And he was up against Kimura in the end there, and I'm sorry, Kimura, he got no chance. He's a big, strong lad.
Takaya Saito, the young playmaker, learning on the job. And learning that every kick doesn't always go to plan. A miss from a kickable position, but first points of the contest to that man and his Wild Knights.
Takaya Saito didn't catch that ball right, did he? He only just made the post, let alone go through them, but there's a bit of wind out there that you just can't quite see from the camera, maybe.
Ghana is showing a real lightness of touch, taking it to the line. Vince Arso, he does have wonderful hands, but he shows what he's known for. Real power in his carrying, and it's matched as well by the forwards. Wild Knights looking motivated in these early dozen minutes or so. Oh, nice bit of footwork, but only leads him down a blind alley, and it's one that Ben Gunter's at the bottom of.
As soon as Shinya Kimura stepped back inside, and I thought, oh no, there was a lot of blue jerseys. But he's done well.
Betty. He hasn't been at his formidable attacking best thus far this season. Well, it's wonderful spoiling from the captain, Hikosaka. And he's unlucky to not emerge with the ball. Betty looking to find that zip with the ball in hands. It's a huge chunk of the season, but he's back. And Dialende is Mr. Dependable. He's forging a powerful partnership with Arso in the absence of Dylan Riley.
Yeah, Dialende's already had about 5 or 6 carries, hasn't he? A couple of pick and goes as well. His work rate is phenomenal, but you're already starting to see Marika Koribeti come off the wing. Be first receiver playing at 9, trying to get involved in the game, trying to get touches on the ball. That's what any good winger does, really. The more times you touch the ball, more chances you've got of creating something. So don't be surprised to see him heavily involved as this game goes on. He looks to be enjoying himself. Both players do.
It seems ridiculous to say that every time I see Damien Dialende, I'm more impressed. And that's a guy who's won the World Cup twice. But he has something about him that he always does the right thing at the right time, every time he has the ball in his hands.
Yeah, he's a great player and he has all the attributes, but also as well, he's got the right mindset. He is a born winner. Every time he plays, he gives 100%. You know, could be, you know, when you're that good and you've achieved exactly what he has, it could be very easy to get a little bit complacent, but no chance from that man. He is so busy around the park, heavily involved, defensively doesn't miss tackles, carries the ball, pick and goes, you know, creates, scores tries. He is just the all-rounder, isn't he? What a player to have in your team.
What a player indeed. And the other end of the spectrum for the Wild Knights is Lisala Finau, the tight head today. Debut last week against the D-Rocks. Back in a starting jersey today against Verblitz. The scrum collapses, but the Verblitz are allowed to launch. Corriabetti misses Manu, but the rest of the Wild Knights get him.
I think Manu was very lucky that Corriabetti missed him. He just flew in, didn't he? I have no idea where he came from there. Just came in 100-mile-an-hour horizontal.
Dixon getting through plenty of work. Meters are tough to come by, and Fafita injects himself from a little deeper than the rest. No way through, and Fafita's back, but this time sweeping up the crumbs. Not too many options, but a good one when you're as strong as him is go forward, and he does get a bit of that. Oh, just a little juggle from Hikosaka. Circle ball out the back for Fita. Locking horns at Dialende. Look at the strength of the Springbok. The boot was the only call there as they were losing ground. It's a wonderful take from Manu, who chose the athletic feet. Oh, it's a beautiful manipulation of the defense. It just needed the final pass to be on the money. Aoki and his skill set falling at the final hurdle, spilled forward by Wild Knights. Crazy rugby in the 22. And they put themselves right back under the pump.
Yeah, great attack there. Again, Joseph Manu on the right-hand side there, up against Corriabetti. I think it's Keito Aoki just needed to keep hold of the ball, didn't he? Got a little bit excited. You could see the try line popping up there. Didn't really have eyesight on where to get the ball, but and then yeah, no need for that quick line out there. But again, Japanese rugby, it's all about pace and tempo, trying to get on the front foot, and as a result, look where we got the scrum now. Big opportunity for Verblitz. Big blind side as well. Look at this blind side.
They go open. Current bounces inside. It's a wonderful late shift to the onrushing Takahashi. One last dart, and the Verblitz aren't quite there. Oh, it was inevitable, wasn't it? And the man who's got through so much industrious work in these opening minutes has a smooth ride to the line from close range. Josh Dixon.
Yeah, easy. We've got Finau just covering there. He's just far too wide from the ruck, from the breakdown. I don't think that man there, Josh Dixon, will score an easier try, but all as a result of trying to get a quick line out, trying to get the tempo up from your own 5 meters. Just needed to control that. Win the line now, clear your lines.
And just like that, Toyota Verblitz and Shinya Komura and Josh Dixon and Steve Hansen have the lead.
Yeah, and it all came from a nice break down the right-hand side there, but Just a mad couple of seconds from Wild Knights with a quick throw. Put their team under pressure 5 meters out, and Verblitz have just taken the opportunity, so fair play to them.
History, modern history at least, doesn't favour the men in white, that's for sure. Since the game restarted in Japan after COVID, Verblitz have lost all 8 matches they've played against the Wild Knights, and on 5 of those occasions, they shipped 40 points or more, 38 of them in January. Can they change the record and really change the direction of travel as well for their season, one that they've laboured through? But they've got that win against the Eagles, back-to-back with Saitama, would be seismic. Arso latches on for the boys in blue though. Well, he's got his body a little tangled there. I mean, the penalties come his way with Hooper being pinged, but kind of thought that Arso had one too many rolls and got himself into a bad position on the floor.
Yeah, it's always a close call. Referees don't like that extra roll, do they? Just doesn't allow the defense to get anywhere near to try and turn the ball over. It depends how quick you kind of do it, and whether it's part of the momentum. But yeah, it looked like certainly Michael Hooper got there early. There was a little bit of a turn. I don't think it was Michael Hooper who was actually penalised. It was the supporting Verblitz players were off their feet and didn't allow the ball to come back. So yeah, I think Arso and Wild Knights a little bit fortunate there. But this is the area where they scored their first try from, so can't see them doing anything different here. They'll try the drive him all again, and Verblitz have defended it well so far.
Shunted back, so the play is to bring Dialende. And then the try scorer who was denied in from his wing, Takayama, and his carry wins the penalty. Beautiful move, wasn't it?
It was a great move, and again, that inside lazy runner. Dialende is always involved, isn't he? It looked like he was just going to switch it and just go for it, but I'm not sure. That's a strange turnover for me. I'm not sure if a tackle was complete there.
Dialende, the decoy. Sakate stopped. Oh, for the first time, Isai Garner's hands let him down. And Verblitz are defending from a little further from their line. Hooper has his claws almost on. It opens up for Onishi. Garner, light hands, Arso, Noguchi, Koryabetti. It is the slickest, most supreme hands from the Saitama Wild Knights. And at long last, Marika Koryabetti gets across the line for a try this season.
Yeah, slick hands, isn't it? It's the carry originally for Fukui. One pass, lovely running line. Onishi straight and hard, just gets pulled back by Sox. 1, 2, 3, 4 passes to that man Koryabetti, who's still got a work to do to get to the corner there. But what's impressive about those hands is the Verblitz are only 5 meters back because they're on their own try line, so they don't have to be 10 meters back. And they've come up as hard and as physical as they possibly can, but they still get on the outside to Koryabetti, who scores the try. Still got work to do. He's got 2 men chasing over, trying to finish him off as well, but he scores a cracking try.
There's no extras to add as Saito's radar once again deserts him, but that man is back. And he likes scoring against the Verblitz, I can tell you that. It's his first try, believe it or not, since last April, when he scored a brace against the very same opposition. So back to haunt Toyota, and back to rehand the lead to the Wild Knights. 7-10, good match so far. Saito, no points from the tee, but plenty of craft into the backfield. Ghana is everywhere at the moment. Beautiful late delayed ball from Saito. Takayama forges ahead. Ghana, every match this season, he is key in that engine room. Although with a new partner in Jack Cornelson, so often seen at 8. Arso through Richie Gray, ball inside, Dialende. It's always Dialende.
Of course it's Dialende. We haven't shut up about him all half, have we? Brilliant try. Again, it's Vince Arso. I think, look how high the defender goes on Vince Arso. It doesn't look, he hasn't got the right there to go through. Richie Gray, I think it is, isn't it? He just goes far too high in the tackle. It's the handoff. What's impressive for me is just the inside line from Dialende. That's normally the scrum half you see finishing those tries. The cheating line, they call it. He's wherever he's got the ball away from, he's run at a diagonal direction, followed the ball all the way through, and like any good player does, just finished off in style.
This time it is there for Takaya Saito, and a couple of quick fire tries had the Wild Knights in command.
Yeah, much better contact with the kick from Saito. He looked a bit nervous kicking now, and then he's missed 2 already, but any true 10 stepped up, done the job.
Wow, this is big news, because Damien Dialende is going to be separated from another centre partner here. Vince Asso, who we linked up with so well there, is departing the field, and there's no Dylan Riley, aforementioned. There's no Tomoki Osada, but there is Hayata Taniyama, who is making his professional debut in this very moment. Wonderful moment for Taniyama.
Yeah, and as a youngster coming through, what a player to be doing it with, isn't it? You know, if you want to learn the ropes and you want to learn from the best, yeah, gives him a high five there and says, please look after me on the field, sir. And I'm sure he will. Our club level, I played against Pontypridd actually up in Sardis Road for Neath, and we got absolutely
Verblitz looking to exploit that fresh centre pairing. Manu is extreme.
Yeah, it was a cracking rip, wasn't it, Jack Cornelson? But unfortunately, I think it's offside. And they've been so disciplined as well, haven't they? Best discipline in the league, and you can see why the defensive line comes up so hard, but also at the same time it's very fair. It waits till they're all on side, and then they come up nice and aggressive. That time they just got a little bit excited.
On that debut, coming back to that, Shane, who was the legend that you looked around and thought, God, I can't believe I'm playing
players like there was Alan Bateman was in the team at the time. And Alan Bateman, absolute legend of the game, one of my favourite players. And when I had him playing a 13 and I was on the wing, it was just an absolute honour, and it was so easy. The guy just made all my tackles for me. It was great. But yeah, what a player.
A good man to have on the inside as the Wild Knights and Sakati get busy with their shoulders. Fifita is there. Bruising dimensions for an outside centre. They switch back to the right. Crossfield, big bomb. Joey Manu owns the airspace. And you just can't keep this rooster from the try line.
And what a tactic to have, you know, when you got someone like Joey Manu, who's obviously one of the tallest players on the field, isn't he? As a winger, why not? He's against two players there. He's probably against two of the shorter players on the field as well. I'm sorry, Koyama, you've got no chance there. Neither has Takayama. And if it's not broken, don't fix it. I would say that should be a tactic for the Verblitz as well, because he's so comfortable in the air. He's so tall. Obviously, being an Aussie as well, Aussie rules and all that. Why not? Keep sending it down his channel, I say.
Try number 10 for big Joey Manu, who continues in this extraordinary try-scoring vein. It was a crossfield kick last week. It's more of the same here in Kumagaya. And wow, I bet Racing 92 are licking their lips at the prospect of having him in the famous pale blue and white hoops next season.
Yeah, he looks quality, doesn't he? And I've been lucky enough to cover Verblitz a couple of times this year, and they've used him a lot off the bench as well. But I think they've realised this kid is a weapon. Let's get him on the field for as long as we possibly can, and it's effective.
Hooper's in that clinch. It is always remarkable, isn't it, to think the quality of player that's out there. You've got, you know, Michael Hooper, over 100 Wallaby caps, Richie Gray, nigh on that for Scotland, and all the talented Japanese internationals, and this guy too. Yet Joseph Manu seemingly sort of looks head and shoulders above them at times when he's in possession, doesn't he?
Yeah, and that's the great thing as well, you know, Manu playing with some of the players on show here today, and against some of the players on show here today as well. It only does you know good. It gets you better. It makes sure that you're able to compete against the best as well. He's young as well. He's fresh, and it's a great opportunity for it to set his stall and go up against the best, really. So good on him.
Well, there's a beautiful bounce on the outside arc there from Takayama. Does get dragged down before entering the 22, and Isai Hangana is so impressive in the engine room. And here's the debutant on a little glide, gets through Manu, finds a bit of help on his shoulder through Gunter. Wild Knights building nicely here. Oh, Nishi, goodness me. Wild Knights, Koyama. Well, he went the wrong direction there. Dialende, though, always goes the right direction, forward. Has himself stripped. Advantage was always there.
Yeah, the penalty was coming anyway. It's just a lovely little bit of play, wasn't it? From Sakate. The little wraparound, gives the ball, covers that line, keeps the running line in as well, takes the return pass. But again, all this pressure resulted in a penalty. 7 minutes to go for half-time as well, so interesting decision. Do they just take the extra points, or do they keep the pressure on?
It's the first 33 and a half minutes that's rattled by, hasn't it, Shane? It's been a really enjoyable game where each side have had their moments. Just as you thought that the Wild Knights were moving through the gears and in danger of leaving the Verblitz behind, that Manu tries really changed the complexion.
Yeah, it has. And what I love about Japanese rugby and top league rugby as well is you never know what's going to happen on the field, do you? And like you say, there was the Wild Knights looked like they got control of this game, and then the Verblitz then just turn it on and just score a try from nowhere. So that's the beauty of this game.
Well, usually when Sakate gets his hands on the ball at the back, you do know what's going to happen. But on this occasion, dispossessed, and is it a chat or is there a reach to the pocket here for Verblitz? Nervy times in the final 5 minutes or so of this first half.
I think the referee just saying now there's been a couple of penalties given now against Verblitz. I think defensively they've been really good with the driving maul, but they do need to be careful now. I think another penalty could result in a yellow card. And that's exactly what the Wild Knights will do now. They'll keep the ball in the 22, put the pressure on Verblitz. Verblitz know they've got to be squeaky clean.
Well, Verblitz have been
good defence.
No, they've been squeaky clean, but got down and dirty in there. It's fabulous small defence and cuts the legs from the driving effort. Koyama can't quite make his mind up, can he? Goes to Dialende, always a good option.
Plops over the line, but again, that's why the Wild Knights are so good. They smell blood at the minute. Obviously, Michael Hooper gone off with a yellow card, camped on the try line of Verblitz, and Steve Hansen, being the ruthless coach he is, the talk would be, right, come away with points here, keep at it. Just before half-time, perfect for Wild Knights.
Well, Lisala Fina last week, he said, I thought it'd be 3 or 4 years until I got my first cap, but I was given this opportunity so soon. I want to make it count. I want to be a key player, and I want to aim to play for Japan, and that's not a bad way to send a message to Eddie Jones, wherever he's tuning in. I wouldn't be surprised if he is somewhere in the stadium today. Really misses a minute's rugby, no matter what continent he's on, Eddie. Might be getting ahead of ourselves for the Brave Blossoms, but certainly a good start to his career for Finau. He loved Joseph Manu to be qualified for Japan, that's for sure.
A couple more seasons now in Japan, that would have been handy, wouldn't it, for that man, Joseph Manu. Again, done so well for Verblitz as well. And you got to bear in mind, Verblitz probably haven't had the best of seasons at the foot of the table as well. So for you to be able to shine week in, week out in those kind of teams, you must be doing something right on the field there. But you go back to Lisala Finau. He is a big man. What I like about him as well, he's very comfortable in the scrum, of course he is, but he carries well as well, doesn't he? He has got a good engine on him. He does work around that park. And as a coach, especially a national coach, that's what you want. You want your big boys to be fit and be able to carry as well as do the set piece well. So keep an eye on that young man.
Sloppy off the top from Wild Knights. No worries though. Fukui will do the unglamorous stuff. And Koyama signals. Well, signals that he's going sky high, but one of the other forwards says, I'm going to have a carry. And it's to their detriment because Onishi loses control on his way to the ground. It's a little shot of Richie Gray there. I think there was a bit of genuine surprise as to what he was up to. He left Glasgow sort of midway through the first half of the season, announced that he was off to Verblitz, which raised a few eyebrows because it took him out of Scottish contention. But why wouldn't you? Him and George Turner, two Scotsmen now over on these shores, and well, he's in the heart of a scrum that is being pulverised by the Wild Knights. And there was only one call, wasn't there? Wild Knights are content with a 12-point lead heading into the half-time huddles. It's been a fine first half, one that Verblitz are just about in touch with, but they have to muster some bigger minutes come the second half. It is half-time here in Kumagaya, and it is the Wild Knights leading the Toyota Verblitz.
The momentum up now. They want the first score on the board, because what tends to happen with the Wild Knights is as soon as they get control, they can run away with it. But Verblitz man down, Michael Hooper still in the bin, just being yellow carded before half time, so it's a real tough 5 minutes for Verblitz, but they want to try and keep that man quiet, Dale Ende, who's been absolutely superb again this first half.
Well, you could argue that the Wild Knights are a second half side, and extraordinarily they were only leading by 2 at the break against rock bottom D-Rocks last week. They led 28-26 at the break, but then they didn't concede a point, and they ran out to win 54-26. They'll be hoping for more of the same. Verblitz shy on confidence, not short on talent, but short a man. Starting the second half with 14 players, Toyota Verblitz kick off into the arms of the Wild Knights' Marika Correa-Betty, trailing by 12, looking to find a way back into this contest. The counter is launched. Good chasing party on shoulder, gets underneath it, and it's brilliantly claimed. He's so tough when it comes directly down from on top of you, but Takahashi, very much a match to the altitude. Raki, no nonsense carrying, explodes through the blue jerseys. Well, it's wonderfully stripped in the tackle. There were so many Wild Knights there, then bananaed off the boot. Oh, that deserves so much more.
Hard lines, Takayama. That was slick, wasn't it? Real slick. It's a rip in the tackle. Again, Wild Knights just being patient. And again, it's that Taniyama's come on, made a difference, certainly. And it's a lovely rip. As cool as you like, banana kick off the right boot. That deserved a little bit more, didn't it? Unfortunately, just was the wrong side of the post. Class.
You've got to say, the 50-22 has to be the best law introduction, maybe ever.
I completely agree. It just opens the game up, doesn't it? It gives you a reward as well for some positive play. You know, the game, there is a lot of kicking in the modern game. Yes, there is, but it's all for a reason. It's to regain, it's to win territory, it's to win the battle. But if you get rewarded for a great kick, a difficult kick, by getting the ball back in the line, I think it's brilliant. I think it's a great attacking threat for these teams, and it just shifts the game around a little bit more as well. So yeah, it's a great introduction.
No scrum to be had because of the hijinks. So off go Verblitz and Akito Akui. Isaiah Mapasua leaving the field injured last week against the Eagles. That's why Akui is the only change. And again, the Wild Knights almost stripping in contact, travelling to the line. Oh, Akui gets slotted by Sakate. Rides the challenge incredibly well, actually. Lots of nice shakes in the Verblitz, but not too much punch as of yet. Fifita usually delivers that, but what about that for a hit from the young debutant Taniyama? And he's back into the fray as well there. The light blue head guard of the young centre on for Vince Arso.
Yeah. Taniyama has had a good impact, hasn't he, since coming on. He's not the biggest of centres, but he's been very physical. A couple of turnovers, a couple of great hits, hitting the Verblitz players back behind that defensive gain line. And again, involved again, look, being an absolute nuisance.
He's a real pest at the breakdown, isn't he? That's the exuberance of youth, no doubt about it. More tackles coming in. You love to see that enthusiasm, don't you? And, well, it forces the Verblitz to go to the boot. Didn't look like there was much on, but it's kind of worked out for them. McCurran first to the loose bounce, and now come the Verblitz. Slaloming back forward. That was Shoga Miura before Shigeno scampered into the 22, and penalty to Verblitz. And, well, it's a bit of a shame for Wild Knights, who really defended stoutly up until that lucky break from the kick.
Yeah, and again, Verblitz having to work really hard on the play through the phases. Yes, it is a penalty eventually, but it's taken real pressure, good ball retention for them to give that penalty away. But it's the first time we've really seen Verblitz close to the try line with a set piece. That man there, Taniyama, coach will definitely be happy with his impact since coming on, and Michael Hooper's back on as well to bring the numbers back up to 15.
Former Wallaby captain Hooper latches on to Richie Gray, who's unchallenged in these Japanese skies. It looks to be going only one way and one outcome. Yoshikatsu Hikosaka, the captain, 2 tries last week, delivered the win against the Eagles, and 1 here today gets them back in the fight with the Wild Knights.
Yeah, perfect introduction again. Michael Hooper on the field certainly made the difference, and Hikosaka there looked initially that he might have broken off a little bit early, but I think he was up against Saito. He got all excited, close to that line, the hookers always do, don't they? And he went right, real nice and low. There wasn't much Saito could do, and apart from try and get the foot under the ball, but I think he came off the worst for it.
goodness me. The Verblitz kicked terribly from the tee last week. Shinya Kimura, Matt McGann, both guilty in missing a total of 6 kicks in all, 3 conversions and 3 penalties. It meant that their win against the Eagles wasn't quite as emphatic as it could have been. But it's the different end of the spectrum against the Wild Knights. It's the question of, are those misses going to prove crucial in determining whether it's a win or a loss? It's a big chase on Dixon.
Corabetti just manhandled someone who's about 125 kilos then, didn't he? It's frightening. And bear in mind, Corabetti is the winger and Dixon is the second row, so just an absolute beast. But yeah, you go on about the conversion. The kicks are so important because, especially when you're playing a team against the Wildlights, the opportunities will be few and far between, and the extra 2 points or the 3 points here as well just makes the difference and just lets the White Knight off the hook a little bit, doesn't it, when they keep missing?
Well, it's Verblitz who's been let off the hook there with a knock-on. Shane, did you ever come up against Marika Corabetti?
No, I didn't. But fortunately for Australia, over the time they seem to have produced a lot of Corabettis in their time. Wendell Saylor obviously played against Wales back in my day. Lottie Takiri, but to name a few, you know, it's they got the Karevis and so on as well. They just look like back rows or second rows on the wing, don't they? Absolute monsters of men, and Corabetti is one of the bigger ones out of all of them, so absolute machine.
Well, Saylor and Takiri, they were a couple of players, weren't they, back in their pomp. Verblitz, and maybe got another one on the books who's wide out right at the moment, Joey Manu, and he's wading with intent. It's another Wallaby though, Michael Hooper, who throws himself into the clear out as the Verblitz build. Wonderful break from within their own 22, but they're thwarted by the breakdown presence of one of the try scorers out there today. Lisala Fina wins the penalty.
I think it was Akito Kui as well, just coming in from the side, not on his feet, not supporting his body over that breakdown. But again, just patience in defence from the Wild Knights. And all that hard work from Verblitz ends up in a penalty and they lose 50 yards.
So the front row to be replaced now, and it's another fine performance from Lisala Fina, just his second professional appearance, and Danny Perez as well, who's coming back into the action. Craig Miller and Asailia Aivalu, almost specialist replacement props, come bounding on. Craig Miller, he's played every game, but he's yet to start one. He only rises from the pine, but he does it very, very well indeed. And Liam Mitchell isn't a bad bloke as well to be introducing as well. He's on for Shota Fukui, so you would imagine that Jack Cornelson will shift into the back row.
Yeah, I don't think Craig Miller will be too worried about coming off the bench every week either. Certainly makes an impact when he comes on, settles his pace. Such experience, isn't he?
Wonderful injection from the blind side from Taniyama. Doesn't quite scamper through. The Wild Knights carrying with intent. Taniyama smuggles it into the path of one of his big forwards. What about that for a take from Liam Mitchell? Well, Wild Knights are playing up now. Ludhiyaga, loose clear out, penalty coming for the Wild Knights. And Miller Always good for a tip, linking up with Mitchell. It's exceptional energy from this Wild Knights bench. Correa-Betty, Marika, like a missile, exploding through the Verblitz defence. He gets a pat on the head from his old Wallaby captain, Michael Hooper. But Marika in at the double.
Referee looking at something, but again, yeah, Correa-Betty didn't get touched, did he? Just bounced back inside. A lot of the hard work was done by the likes of Mitchell, and Tanayama again is heavily involved. Lovely little tip from Craig Miller, sorry. Look here. Even Lou De Jager was in front of him and thought, no, not even I want to tackle you, mate, you carry on. But again, that's all from hard work. That's all from coming off his wing and being heavily involved.
Well, we've already seen a try chalked off today for dubious forward pass. Are we going to see another one denied from the scoreboard? I would imagine maybe for what do you think, for the blocking inverted commas from Diago?
Maybe, but there's no player there to block, is there? So I hope that's not the case. These decisions, I think, one thing it does annoy me is the length of time it takes to even look at this. This should be organised and this should be dealt with now already. The fourth official should already know whether this is a try or not. It just takes a little bit of the momentum away, doesn't it? I don't think there's anything. They're looking to see if De Jager's pulled the player to the ground, is it? If you look on the right of your screen now, he's got his hands by.
膝ついて倒れた後掴んでるんですね。でここで掴み続けて、まあ結果的に彼が倒れて。
It's not much in that, is there? Surely.
Theatrical, that's for sure.
Yes.
だからこの青20番がこの掴み続けたことによって、
Okay, there's contact there. He's cleared the ruck out, the player from the ruck, which is fine. He's holding him there. But look at this. Oh, come on. Come on, that's the wrong sport, mate. Wrong sport you're playing there. But he might just have won it, you know, won this for his team.
A sniper in the stands, taking him out.
このタイミングでボール白のプレイヤーを掴み続けてプレーを妨害しているので、オブストラクションでトライキャンセル。ただアドバンテージがあるので、その前のところに戻りたいと思います。はい、それでお願いします。
Well, it's interesting, isn't it, Shane? Because that happens anywhere else on the field, in any other passage. No one's giving it a second glance, are they?
No, it's annoying, really, because of theatrics as well. But you know, you just look. If Nigel Owen was reffing that, he probably would have given the Verblitz player a bit of a telling off for the theatrics, really. But there you are. It's a shame.
Correa-Betty's try is chalked off, so remains a 7-point contest. And more ammunition arrives from the bench. Arguably the greatest ever All Black, number 9, Aaron Smith.
Well, I'm sorry to say this, but I almost forgot that Aaron Smith was going to be involved today. That says something, doesn't it? You know, forgot he was there with all the stars and all the players who got on the field here, but what a general to bring on.
Wild Knights looking to get the try that they've been denied from Correa-Betty, and Smith fizzes it out to Fifita to Idraki on the shoulder. Big collision arriving. And the dedicated shoulders of Taniyama once again being launched into the legs of an opposition player. He's had a fine debut. Fifita takes a ball that wasn't his to grasp. Game really opening up nicely here, and it's Big Joey Manu that now things happen when he's on the ball. Smith, picture perfect passing technique. Hands and arms following precisely where he wants the ball to end up. Gray smuggles it to his prop forward. Verblitz are playing some real nice rugby here. That's definitely a clear out from the side. Hooper launches himself into more endeavour. No way through for McCurran. Diolende's looking for a jackal, and he gets it. Oh, what a magnificent player he is. What a breathless passage, Shane.
Yeah, I almost forgot that I got to commentate then. It's just, you know, typical Japanese rugby is end to end. One team's got it, then the other team turns over and you go again. It's great to see. Some lovely lines as well popping up here.
It's an exceptional pickup as well.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to see because, you know, both teams want to keep the ball open. Obviously, Wild Knights would love to score now to take a little bit of pressure off, but at the same time, Verblitz have got to score next. So look at these lines. It's great.
I can't remember the last time the ball was dead. Verblitz, Wild Knights, trading blows. High octane attack. McCurran dragged to ground. Smith, oh, he's so silky, isn't he? The offload comes and it sticks. It doesn't matter who scores it. This passage deserves a try. Tuidraki picks and goes. Hooper gets the bit between his teeth. And Ben Gunter hinges his frame over the ball. And it comes to an end. How good is League One?
It's great, isn't it? It is great. There's a couple of forwards there, especially the front row. I don't mean to pick on the front row, but they got their hands on their hips and they're probably thinking, thank God for that. Now just take your time to kick to touch, please. Give us a second. But yeah, it's just end-to-end stuff. And, you know, this is going to sound obvious, but what a difference Aaron Smith has made. He's come on, he's raised the tempo straight away. He's brilliant to watch, isn't he? His passing is perfect. His technique is on point there. Any young scrum halves looking at how to pass the ball and what technique you should use, certainly follow Aaron Smith on Instagram. He's a brilliant professional. Still practices all the time, puts the extra work in, and he's one of the best for that reason.
We really are spoiled here in this league, aren't we, Shane? A galaxy of stars. Hooper to Smith. Oh, it's wonderfully and intricately worked, tight to the tail of the line out. Now the arrival of a Kui as Verblitz surge, looking for an equalising score. Driven hit. There does look like there is space to attack, and it's an arcing glide of a run from Akito Okui, but he finds himself isolated, and Correa-Betty is there, and the penalty is won.
Yeah, bread and butter Correa-Betty, that is. Just waits for the ball to go nice and wide. As a defending team, normally on the outside like that is the easiest opportunity to get over the ball and try and turn it over, and Correa-Betty is, you know, an absolute legend at it. Waiting for his time, wasn't involved in the tackle, so he's got the right to get on that ball nice and early. His hands are on the ball straight away. There's no leaning on the ground, there's no leaning on the player. Just perfect technique.
comes Kosei Miki, the back row replacement. Wearing 20 today. And his first appearance since round 6 against the Cannon Eagles, his debut season. Mitchell off the top. Diolende into the fray. Manu under it. Don't give him space, because off he goes. Could watch Joey Manu all day. Tuitaraki, he's not bad either. Wonderful hands. There's a freedom to which both these sides are playing their rugby here, and Verblitz are sensing that maybe today is their day. They've never beaten the Wild Knights since the reimagination of this league to become the League One. Oh yes, Richie Gray to Nicholas McCurran, the Verblitz playing up. A race to the 22, guess who? Damien Diolende. He is always right place, right time, isn't he?
Absolutely ridiculous. The centre, Diolende there, one of the experienced players on the field. The ball gets chipped over him and he's still able to get back there. And, you know, that's back three territory. Your back three should be looking after that, but no, you got your inside centre who's probably worked harder than anyone on that field today. He's just got all the way back and made the difference. Unbelievable.
Don't know about you, Shane, but I'm enjoying this one.
Yeah, I've got to say that's. I don't think there's a top league game I've watched and I thought, God, this is boring. It never is it? It's always end-to-end stuff. Fantastic. Both teams really having a go today as well. So with some great players playing individually. So it's been one of those days. I tell you one thing though, I've really enjoyed the Joseph Manu, Marika Koribetti matchup. It's been brilliant. Really, really. Both players have had a cracking game as well. So it sums it up.
It's tough to think, isn't it, that Verblitz with the likes of Manu, Aaron Smith and co, that they're so far down the table, and it really is a game of fine margins. As I think we're having a look at the clear out here.
I think then I'm looking to see if there's head contact from Kosei Miki on Taneyama, who's Taneyama's obviously the 22 in blue there. He's over the ball trying to turn it over. But it's whether or not there's contact here with the head.
I mean, what are you going to do?
Shoulder to the head.
You're less than a metre off the floor on the clear out, and it's a late duck down as he looks to jackal the ball.
Yeah, it's very difficult, isn't it? The other referee talking about mitigated circumstances that it looks like Miniyama has ducked to try and jackal the ball. I can see it better from here. Let's have a look. You can see Miniyama just getting on the ball here. Nice and early. He's low.
I think that's incredibly tough on Kosei Miki, isn't it?
Yes, it is. He's going to clean the ball out, isn't he? It's his legitimate attempt. It is a tough one, isn't it? Because, okay, there is head contact, but you're so low. It's not as if he's gone high. It's not as if he's got his timing wrong. He's almost perfect, and what he's done is just the fact that his head is contacted with Taneyama. It's a difficult one, really tough one for me.
I feel like if you were to go through the match on replay and grab
had a bump on the head here, which, okay, of course we want our players safe, but that has kind of brought to the attention to the touch judge and the referee that there has been contact there, and they've gone back and looked at it as well. So yeah, like you say, without doubt there's about 3 or 4, 5, 6 even incidents like at the breakdown where they could have gone back and looked at.
just as Verblitz were beginning to believe the Wild Knights, now down to 14, just as they were at the back end of the first half when Hooper saw yellow, and now looking to fend off. Long levers, won't even have to be at full stretch because he's powered his way home, and once again Saitama make the Verblitz pay immediately after the yellow card.
Yeah, it's just taking the stuffing out of Verblitz, hasn't it? Poor Aaron Smith there, he's got to try and deal with De Jager, but just comes around the car. Look at that, he's probably about 5 meters out being tackled, but he's so long, he just stretches out and takes Aaron Smith over the try line with him. But yeah, this is what good teams do. They look at weaknesses in teams, they look at the fact that Verblitz are down to 14 now, and they've just kept going round the corner, and when you've got your back rower off the field as well, it's tough, isn't it? It's tough to keep that defensive line straight.
And Nicholas McCurran looks like his race is run for the day. I mean, like Shane, you know, as wingers went, you weren't in the towering category, a fine player. But, I mean, what do you do when a man the dimensions of Lud de Jager is that close? You know, how do people stop someone that big?
Yeah, it's good. It's a group tackle, isn't it? It's doubling up. I think if you go low on a player like De Jager, he's that big and strong anyway. He gets the offload, you know, with his long range arms, the RJ Snyman. You know, you go low on them, they get the ball away anyway. You go high in them, they're just too strong and powerful. So it's literally tackling in numbers. You know, De Jager from that close to the try line as well. He's just an absolute nightmare to stop. And you put 2 defenders in to try and stop him, and you don't get that right. He offloads and puts someone else in. So you know, they're big, strong men, but they're good ball carriers as well. You know, they've got that kind of top 2 inches where they think, right, I know I'm a big, strong carrier, but I'm probably going to tie in 2 defenders here. So if I do a nice little tip before contact, hopefully I put a bit of space for my teammate as well. So difficult to defend.
The woes of the tee continue. And moving into the second quarter, it's the Wild Knights leading 29-17, and the try scorer not only returns, but he releases and goes back for more. It's remarkable to think that Lud de Jager almost was never going to play rugby again. He missed the Rugby World Cup in France with a heart condition called pericarditis. But he has been well and truly reinvigorated since coming to these shores. Team of the year last season. And a try today to put a bit of daylight on the scoreboard. It's not all lost for the Verblitz though. However, they only have 14 on the field and they got a long way to go.
Yeah, it's great. Going back to Lud de Jager, it's good to see him on the field, isn't it? Fit and healthy and doing what he loves and scoring tries and playing rugby is great. But yeah, this game isn't over yet. It's a 12-point buffer, and in top league rugby, let's be honest, anything can happen. So
And Shane, I mean, you played in Japan as a foreigner. You're probably like maybe in the minority maybe back in those days. We're seeing so many world-class players, and they're not just playing, they are loving their rugby out here, and the Wild Knights are loving attacking at just the 14. Liam Mitchell goes thrashing through the contact. It was all about the timing of the delivery, and now the Wild Knights are smelling blood. One more offload, once more to Marika Corriabetti, and this time the Wallaby great won't be denied.
Yeah, again, if there's a man that probably deserves a try after, especially the last try being disallowed, which was nonsensical if you ask me, but it's that man Corriabetti. Again, he scored some great tries, and he's still got work to do, isn't he? He's got Hooper and Takahashi, just look like they've got him covered. Lovely left foot step, takes 2 defenders out. But yeah, he's deserved that try. But yeah, going back to the foreign play, it's great, isn't it? It's great to see the quality of players on the field coming off the bench as well. And what it is as well, it's brilliant for Japanese rugby. These young potential internationals coming through and having the experience of training and playing with the likes of Corriabetti, Aaron Smith, Michael Hooper, and of course Dale Ende. That must be absolutely incredible. And again, I'm going to go on about Tanayama, who's come off the bench in the centre there. He's been fantastic today, but he must wake up every morning and think, wow, this is incredible. I get to train with Dale Ende today. I get to learn off the best. And it looks like it's rubbing off as well, because he's had a great game as well, hasn't he? So, yeah, it's brilliant to see. And I had the pleasure of playing with the likes of Steve Donald, Anthony Boric, World Cup winners there as well. Played against the likes of Sonny Bill. Yeah, just brilliant for the game.
Joshua Nora is on for a Wild Knights debut, wearing 23. 3 seasons at the Hanazono Liners, and joined in the summer. And he makes his maiden bow in blue, having joined from the side that Quade Cooper has been at for around about 6 years. He's announced his intentions to leave. And he too, illustrative of just a great time that all these players are having coming over here. You look at their Instagrams and yeah, they're playing good rugby, but they are having a cultural awakening almost. Japan is such an interesting and fabulous country, and the likes of Aaron Smith and the gang are soaking it all in, and we're soaking in this free style of rugby right here. The Wild Knights leading by 17. Launch one down the gunnels to Idraki. Oh, he doesn't back himself. Instead, he says to his fullback, let's seek the salvation of the touchline. And Takahashi does just that.
Yeah, stand open a bit here, isn't it? Obviously, Verblitz are going to have to open it up to get back into this game. And the Wild Knights have got the players that like to play their open game as well. But yeah, going back to the players and the quality of players that enjoy themselves in Japan, it's brilliant. I had 3 years there, and the country's so diverse. The culture, the people are fantastic, and you know, you can just get well looked after. And the reason these players come and stay for years. I think that's, well, it's a head contact, of course it is, but I think there was so many mitigating circumstances in that. That's a shocker for me. Didn't see that coming whatsoever, and that's not going to help the cause for Verblitz either. With 15 minutes to go, it's a shame.
That's lost for words, actually. I thought that was going to be a regulation confirmation that it was a yellow card and he'd be back on the field in a couple of minutes. But, well, heartbreak for the 23-year-old, Kosei Miki. And Verblitz will be with just the 14 for the remainder, and then now you've got to think they've got to have their eye on bonus points. Can they get a fourth try? Can they get to within 7? Because it is so congested down in the relegation zone.
Yeah, you're right. There's points at the minute. And it's hard enough when you got your full 15 on there. You've lost your back rower as well, Kosei Miki, who actually came off the bench as well. So I do feel for him. It wasn't an aggressive, dirty, deliberate play. So he'll feel hard done by, and he'll also be feeling that he's let the team down a little bit under the pump with 14 men on the field. But it's a difficult one. The Verblitz just need to get this hands on the ball now. Aaron Smith has got to work his magic. Try and get another try on the board. Easier said than done, but nice attacking scrum here right on the far side. Full back line, full complement of backs.
Smith, there's something so pleasing about watching him put revolutions on a rugby ball, isn't there? Just lifts it into the path of Keito Aoki, who gets set upon by the blue jerseys of the Wild Knights. And when you're in strife, the last thing you want to see is Ben Gunter arriving to add his muscle to the equation.
Yeah, you've got Ben Gunter, and then you've got Diaga coming over as well. You know you're in trouble. Jack Cornelson's not a small man either, so he's involved. And then you get Takagi, who's about 60 kilos, adding his weight just for the sake of it. I'll take that. He'll have a look at the stats on Monday morning, and that'll say turnover for him, so he'll be happy.
Let's not forget about the impact of Yuta Takagi in there, hey, Shane?
Let's be honest, it was an absolute waste of time, him jumping in there, wasn't it?
Well, there he is, bristling after his turnover effort. Takagi to place the ball into the scrum, and he won't get to fizz it out because the penalty is conceded, and now there's the sense of this result travelling in one direction.
And then we spoke about Craig Miller and the players that have come on as well. That's exactly what they're there for. When they need to slow the clock down and need to chew away at seconds, he comes on, sets a stall in the scrum, nice and strong over the ball, wins the penalty, and they win another 60 yards. They'll take their time getting to this line-out. Of course, Verblitz are there ready for the line-out to come, but the Wild Knights are just walking, talking about the line-out call, eating away at the time.
I am fascinated by the role of Craig Miller and Yuta Takagi as well. They are specialist bench players, and the mentality and the role they play is so different to the traditional wanting to be in that starting jersey each time. But as he said, and here he is, just performing such a vital role in the modern game.
Yeah, and it's a big part, isn't it? Let's have a look at the guy here. It's a big part of the game now. The finishers, the subs. I remember back in my day, if you had said you were on the bench, you'd be absolutely devastated. But that's not the case now. You look at the quality of players that come off the bench for both teams. And equally, it's important.
But the bench is having a profound impact. Oh, but it is the light hands of one of the names that is first on the team sheet, Damien Dialende, with his DNA all over one more try for the Wild Knights. And Jack Cornelson is the beneficiary on this occasion.
Yeah, again, depleted Verblitz team now, isn't it? And when the Wild Knights get that on that front foot, got their backs up, it's difficult. Yeah, Dialende probably thought he was going to score the try himself, so that's why he didn't have the oomph in the pass, but It was a lovely pickup from Jack Cornelson from 5 yards out. And again, he's worked tirelessly, hasn't he? The second rows for Wild Knights. Doesn't matter who's on the field. They've got such talent in the back row and in the second row there. It's incredible. And you talk about finishers. Sometimes that's the difference when you get the quality of the Jaga to come off the bench. You've already got Cornelson who's played full match and probably will play to the end. Some real quality workhorses on the field for you.
Cornelson with the try in. Well, I'd almost forgotten what a conversion looked like, but we finally get one. And the good fortune for the Wild Knights is that they scored a hatful of tries here, and they're back to winning ways. There was a real rocking of their confidence after those back-to-back defeats at the hands of the Blue Revs, followed by the Brave Blue. They were second best by a long, long way. But in doing so, they demonstrated their character, their capacity to keep on going. And Kenji Sato looks to channel that forward as Wild Knights move towards the 10-metre. There's real expanse now to the manner in which they're playing. Joseph Manu has a bit of trouble wrapping his tentacles around the wide man. Miller at first receiver. Dialende, Diaga, the Springbok connection delivers through the heart of the Verblitz. That was a joy to watch.
Yeah, what is he doing there? He's enjoyed himself certainly coming on, isn't he? And how many times has he kind of... Kenji Sato with a couple of sidesteps, looked a bit lost, didn't he? There wasn't much support there for him, but the damage is done. And there he is. Dale Ender gets him the ball. Probably thinks, come on, mate, I put you in once already. Let's have the ball back. But from that far out, you've got to go for it, haven't you? So 2 tries today from that man. And again, it's such an impact since coming on.
There we go, back-to-back conversions, and Saitama are a pair of points away from a half-century.
Yeah, and it's come from nowhere, hasn't it? It's what you will say is that the yellow cards are mid difference, 100%, and it's always difficult. The difference. The wheels, unfortunately, have come off Verblitz now. They're dropping off tackles, and the Wild Knights, being the ruthless team that they are, used to winning, used to putting teams in his own game. I think he's playing on his own at the minute.
This feels like it could be a long 5 minutes for the Verblitz at the moment. The Wild Knights really in the mood, and this kid's been outstanding, hasn't he?
Yeah, I've been really impressed by him. He's very comfortable ball in hand. He's aggressive in defence. He's not the biggest of men, is he? And this guy as well.
Corey Abeti hunting a hat-trick. Every Wild Knights player is desperate for their hands to be on the ball. They're in the mood. They're in the groove. And oh, Marika.
They were.
Chips a loose one for Fita. Oh, well, that is outstandingly held by Michael Hooper. Smith bounces around, backdoor boogie to Idraki down the edge. That's forward, but it may just be play on. Double pump for Fita to fire into the left-hand corner. It'll be the bonus point score, so there will be match points for Verblitz. I wonder if they'll look at a couple of those final passes. But for Fita, of all the Verblitz, one of the worthiest to cross the paint.
Just a bit of class from Aaron Smith, isn't it? Lovely little cat flap to get it out wide to Draki. And then just staying on his feet, supporting and going again. Have you had a whistle somewhere? So are they going to have a look at this?
Yeah, the double blast is never a good sign, is it?
No. Yeah, and it could be an important decision as well, couldn't it? You know, you talk about bonus points. It's really tight on the bottom there.
Yeah, Verblitz are only 2 points ahead of Honda Heat. This one's fine. I think it's this one.
Yeah, he's almost facing forward when he passes it, which doesn't make it look too good, does it? But look at that, lovely play originally from Aaron Smith. I've seen he's not given, I'll be honest with you, but if you're going by the first half, the forward pass that was given in the first half, it might be very difficult to give this.
The way things have gone today, Shane, I wouldn't dare.
Yeah.
I wouldn't dare read the mind of the TMO.
You're right there. I'll keep quiet.
白のプレイヤーはボールキャリアの前にいてボールをもらえる位置ではないところにいます。でそこでから彼が主導して、コンタクトを引き起こしているのでオブストラクション、トライキャンセルで PK 大会でいきます。
So the Saitama audience appreciate the intervention on this occasion. Forward pass, and well, it's a shame. It was a lovely move, wasn't it? And Verblitz still no match points in the offing as it stands.
No, and it's an important decision, isn't it? And the penalty's given for obstruction, I think, as well. So I don't even know. Yeah, it's a penalty. So there's an obstruction somewhere. So I'm not even sure if they looked at the forward pass. I don't know. And my Japanese is a bit rusty, so I'll have to double up and I'll have to check on that one.
I do love the addition of the loudspeaker explanation from the referees. Obviously, not in our home language, Shane, but yeah, I think it's so important for the fan experience, isn't it? And that clarity in the stadium.
100%. It's, you know, it's a game that's got a lot of laws and decisions to be made and rules. And sometimes you do as a fan just end up scratching your head thinking, why was that given here? So to have it kind of explained is great.
Well, yeah, I mean, you and I are meant to be the professionals and we're scratching our heads as to why that penalty was given.
I still don't know. I still don't know.
Here come the Wild Knights, hunting a half-century. Joseph Manu. Well, he's not penalised there. There was penalty advantage. He'd swiped the ball back.
I don't think there's nothing wrong with what Joseph Manu did there, because he actually taps the ball backwards, doesn't he? So he was offside anyway. However, I think they just butchered that try there. I think Takeyama's got to get rid of that pass a lot sooner. And it's a walk-in on the left-hand side, possibly Korobetti's hat-trick. And Joseph Manu has just come in, stopped the pass, but once he's hit it, it's gone backwards anyway, so I think he's fine.
Michael Hooper's intensity doesn't drop. Ben Gunter attaches himself to the unstoppable force that is the Wild Knights pack, and it is a half-century. The Wild Knights' utter dominance over the Verblitz in League One continues in points plundering form. 50 up, and the Wild Knights back to winning ways in emphatic fashion.
Yeah, it just looks a tired Verblitz team now, doesn't it? They've been up against it today, but Kenji Sato, he's come on, he's definitely made a difference, hasn't he? Obviously, Sakata had a great first half, captain goes off. It's never easy when your captain plays in your position, especially when there's only one on the field. So it's always difficult, but Kenji Sato's come on. He's made 2 line breaks. He's been heavily involved in anything positive that the Wild Knights have done, and he's been rewarded with a try as well. So what an afternoon he's had.
He's been outstanding, hasn't he, Shane? Since coming onto the field, real energy, and you have to say that the bench from the Wild Knights has maybe been the difference. The yellow card and the red card, of course, have been key. Verblitz fighting most of this battle with just 14 on the field. There is a shred of hope for them. Can they get one more try for the bonus? They're going to be bitterly disappointed to leave with nothing, and they will, because the ball is going to be boomed off the field. And it is smiles all round for the indomitable Saitama Wild Knights. And the passions are still bubbling there between a few Sansa old rivals. Lud de Jager, the big Springbok, against the great Wallaby, Michael Hooper. They've all given it everything, but it's Saitama who'll leave with everything. 5 match points. A humbling of Verblitz. Final score here, 55-17. Shane, that was an enjoyable watch, wasn't it?
I love it.